What legacy would you like to leave? As part of the Legacy Society, your gift supports the future of the Iowa Catholic Radio Network. By participating in the planned giving process, you can be assured that when you leave this earth, your charitable gift will continue to support this apostolate and its mission of connecting people to Christ. If you're interested in including Iowa Catholic Radio as part of your charitable gift planning, call me, Belle Marasco, at 515-223-1150. Thank you for your prayerful support.
The Catholic Morning Show.
Folks, like I said, when you have hidden gems locally that national publications are celebrating, you should do your part in making sure that everyone here locally knows what we have right here in front of us in the Iowa Catholic Radio listening area. And so we're celebrating one of those not so hidden gems anymore. Monica Pugh is a column writer for the Catholic Mirror. On Prayer is her column, and it recently was awarded an honorable mention at the 2026 Catholic Media Awards. Monica, thank you for coming on the Catholic Morning Show.
Well, thank you for having me, Bo. Thanks.
Have you been able to get through the crowds of adoring fans after this announcement?
Crowds, yeah, okay. Absolutely.
Well, so when it comes to hearing something like the hard work that you've put into your column, which of course I think sometimes when people write well, people might think it's sort of automatic and something that anybody can do in 5 minutes. But of course, anyone who knows what it's like to write, especially on a deadline, can be very intensive, to say the least. So what was it like to see all of that hard work you've put into your column on prayer in the Catholic Mirror awarded by something like this from the Catholic Media Awards?
Well, it was actually quite a surprise. Anne Marie approached me in late 24, I think, about writing the column for the Jubilee Year, and that's how it started. Mm-hmm. And I just want to give her a big thank you for actually sending in the nomination too, because that was her. But she approached me and said, "Hey, would you write this?" And no, it doesn't come necessarily easily at times, but I do spend a lot of time in prayer deciding what needs to happen. And they gave me some guidance early on what they wanted it to look like a little bit. And it's kind of evolved from there. This year, I'm focusing a saint within the column each time it comes out. And so today, of course, this month's was Saint Mary Magdalene, and today is the feast of Saint Mary Magdalene. So,
well, whether you meant to do that or not, perfect timing, providential, let us say. And when it comes to writing a column and the prayer involved, like you said, especially if you're writing on prayer, it seems appropriate to surround those columns in prayer. But what starts to be the sort of motivation or way that you think about an audience? Okay, who am I thinking of when it comes to writing this column? Because it's one thing to share, prayers or the text of prayers, but it's another thing to try to convey what prayer means to people that you don't know who you're sitting across the table from.
One of the biggest things that I think I've learned in the past year and a half is allowing myself to be vulnerable and put some personal touches in it, because prayer is personal for everyone. And at times it can be difficult. I know for me, and we struggle with prayer. I wrote about this in the very beginning. Everybody struggles with the regularity of prayer, how to do prayer, what does prayer look like, and we all have different things. So I think about the person sitting there who maybe is struggling to pray, or they need a new avenue to pray. But most importantly, I just ask the Lord, what do you want me to say this month? What do you want me to write about? And that's how it comes about.
Folks, there's all sorts of ways that you can learn more about your prayer life. Of course, there's great national speakers. We have people who come on the air. We have EWTN programming. So not saying anything against national programming at all. But one of the things that's interesting about attuning to local media, of course, self-serving here on Iowa Catholic Radio, but particular things like the Catholic Mirror, is precisely this idea that someone in your community can reflect the same struggles that you have. And so speaking with Monica Pugh, who writes the Catholic Mirror's column on prayer, recently awarded with honorable mention in the 2026 Catholic Media Awards. Monica, do you think that that is something that makes consuming and approaching local Catholic media important, is because this is something that when people read your columns, hopefully they see reflected in that column, something that really should speak to them as a local Iowan Catholic?
I really think that it has a big impact, and I hope I think doing a big push even now with the new format of the Catholic Mirror is really important. It comes in magazine form every other month. And I really like the new format. I think that it's fun to see. But then you get to see those people in everyday life. And I think that's a testament to showing what it actually looks like on a daily basis. I am a regular person trying to help others grow in holiness, grow in their prayer life, all those things. And they can ask me questions if they see me.
That was good. Okay, so that was my next question is, have someone approached you now saying, I read this in one of your articles, I'd love to talk about it more. Have you had a chance for that to happen yet?
It's happened. It happens many times. And it does actually take me by surprise. They are actually reading. You know, sometimes you put things out there and you wonder, is it reaching anyone? But I do have people comment and say, thank you, you know, this was really helpful. Or I actually have received phone calls at work before because they do know where I work. So, and that's okay. I can't take every phone call, but it's okay. And I do enjoy talking with people. Especially as a spiritual director, that I would, love to give my time if anybody has any questions.
So, and then you get recognized, of course, because right there in the column it has your picture. My funny thing to relate with is that sometimes people don't know who I am till I talk because of radio.
Right.
So it's like there's a delay involved.
Well, and the pictures, it's older, but I do leave it like that on purpose. And sometimes my glasses do change, so they don't necessarily recognize me.
Well, I think people will recognize the good work that you've been doing consistently here. With you talk about what you began doing right with the Jubilee Year and what you've been changing to. So when people approach your column now, what can they start to look at? The theme you're talking about, the saints. What are some of the columns that you've maybe written recently? What are you looking to keep doing, keeping this theme rolling?
I think the last two are very special to me. There were more personal elements in both of them. One of the last ones I wrote about included a little bit about after I lost my mom. So, and how we can be really touched by prayer through God's grace. But the one that came out just this week features Mary Magdalene. So I've been trying to feature saints, and in with prayer, the saints are a great way to learn, and they are examples to us. Saint Mary Magdalene. In the column this month, I talk about a picture that it's a piece of artwork that's actually in a chapel at the University of Mary. And it touched me so much that I purchased it. I was able to purchase a small replica of it and have it in my office. And while I was sitting there one day, I just glanced over and looked at it again and thought, wow, she is just gazing up in the face of Christ. And that's what we want to do in prayer. We want to sit and just look in prayer. We don't want to necessarily try to move God in prayer. I think sometimes in prayer we think we can, in fact, move God in a certain direction.
Right.
But Mary Magdalene knew of God's grace from what we understand about her, and it didn't have to do because of her conversion. It was always because he loved her, even when she was fallen and really struggling.
Well, folks, we want to be good Christians. We want to learn how to pray. It's easy to think that it's an abstract thought process, but everything that we've been talking about today is how concrete it is. The saints were people. It's about concrete moments in our lives. It's about realizing what we do in the here and now in order to start praying. And that's what we've been talking about with Monica Pugh today. She writes a column for the Catholic Mirror on prayer, which was recently awarded an honorable mention in the 2026 Catholic Media Awards. Before we let you go, Monica, any last words about what you're hoping people will find by reading your column? And then how can they literally find your column? Where can they go look for it?
Okay, so you can get an online version. You need to go to dmdiocese.org and you can subscribe to the online version, but also you can get the print copy that will come in your mailbox. I actually enjoy getting both. So there's that. And then what was your other question?
Just any last words about what you hope people find when they come to your column, when they read it.
What is my number one prayer is that people will determine to daily just enter into that space in prayer and make it a priority.
Absolutely wonderful. Monica Pugh is a column writer for the Catholic Mirror. On Prayer is her column. And we are so grateful and happy for her that she recently won the honorable mention in 2026 Catholic Media Awards. Monica, thank you for coming on the Catholic Morning Show.
Thank you for having me, Bo.
Listen to the Catholic Morning Show weekdays at 7 a.m. Central on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network, iowacatholicradio.com, or the Iowa Catholic Radio app.
What legacy would you like to leave? As part of the Legacy Society, your gift supports the future of the Iowa Catholic Radio Network. By participating in the planned giving process, you can be assured that when you leave this earth, your charitable gift will continue to support this apostolate and its mission of connecting people to Christ. If you're interested in including Iowa Catholic Radio as part of your charitable gift planning, call me, Belle Marasco, at 515-223-1150. Thank you for your prayerful support.